What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel for the first daily extra news video. I said I was gonna start doing them starting from next week, uh, but a lot of people asked for it, and Romeo kind of spoke and kind of put to bed certain rumors or whatever, and sparked some rumors. So this I think is the first one, and then actually next week I will start bringing them daily. But I think this is a good indication as for what's possibly going to happen in the coming weeks, months, whatever you want to call it. So I'll go over the news, and I will add Romeo's point of view basically on it. But before I do that, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, especially the bell notification and subscribing, because again, it's almost transfer season. New coach, who knows? So that means at least 2 videos a day with a live. But we'll see how we will manage to do that. But as always, if you have been following the channel for a very long time, you know how the content will be in the summer. But yeah, let's get straight into the first one. Okay, so there's a lot of news out there, like a lot of news and a lot of speculations. But the main factor, or the main quote unquote problem, remains that as long as there's no sporting director officially, and actually a new coach, or an idea who the coach is going to be at least, it's very difficult to plan for next season. It sounds really scary because the transfer season opens now and we still have none of the two. Well, you can say we have a coach, Allegri, but you're probably all assuming that he's not going to be the coach. But we have no sporting director and we have no direction. So it's kind of scary to think that all these things need to come in, put together, click, and manage to work in the space of a couple of weeks, basically, because you cannot start doing your transfers mid-July. So it's a scary thought, but that makes that the news is all over the place. So it's good to have a first indication. The first bit of news is about Vlahovic, and that, to be honest, is not all over the place. I think we can all not not say 100% sure, but I think we're all assuming that he's gonna leave. He's gonna leave because you might say he's not good enough. You might say he doesn't want to stay. The main reason is we need the money. We lost. There was no win in court. It's only now for us. We lost almost 100 million euros, even more. So we need to sell. And the scary part is we're not selling to reinvest. We're selling because we need to cover wages and costs and all those things. So that's a situation. So he's gonna leave, almost 99% sure. Now Fabrizio Romano is saying that he remains in the list for Bayern as the option, and that there has been no talks with Juve, no advanced talks, actually nothing really, because again, like I said, it's very difficult to have talks when you don't know who the coach is. Maybe in this case it's not that important, but you don't know who the sporting director is. You don't know who is going to set the price, basically. So it's very difficult to have a conversation, to be honest. Now Romeo added basically the same thing. He added that yes, Bayern are in for him, but no talks whatsoever at this moment in time, because actually they don't even know who to talk with, too, basically. Because who are you gonna talk? Calvo? He's not gonna make those decisions in the next couple of weeks when the new sporting director comes in. So it's a very difficult situation, but he's on the list for Bayern. Now, what I will say is, I don't want him to leave because I still believe in him. I still think what's happened ever since he joined is not ideal for a lot of our strikers. But this is, I think this is sad because he should have been the guy. We spent a lot of money for it, and this is a complete disaster. Um, I will say, if he's gonna leave and we need the money, you need to hope that one, Premier League teams come in for him, and two, Premier League teams are his preference. That's what we need to hope, because Bayern are gonna pull our pants down. They have in the past, and they will do again. They will do it again. I don't know how they do it. We first of all, we stink at selling players. We do, like, we're terrible at it, uh, and we will remain terrible at it, I believe, if not for somebody to come in and put his foot down and will say this is how we do it, and this is the price. Pay up, because we sold the league, in my opinion, for too less. I don't want to hear, oh, on the books we made a profit. That's bullshit. We sold for less than we paid for him, and it's a disaster. Like, you cannot do that. You cannot do that, and we cannot do the same now. Is he worth what we bought him for back a year and a half? Probably not, but I don't care. I don't think Enzo Fernandez is worth plus 100 million, or name it, Nkunku 80 mil, if you know what I'm trying to say. Anthony 100 mil. It's ridiculous. So you tell Bayern it's 80 mil at least. If not, goodbye. Another team comes in, because other teams will come in. It's time to play hardball, because I'm still pissed about the Delic situation, even the Coleman situation. I'm still pissed at the Vidal situation, because we could have got more money. But when we do business with Bayern, for some reason, we end up being at the wrong part, or at the wrong part of the deal. That cannot happen in this case, especially when you are in desperate need of money. But that's the situation. He's probably gonna leave. I'm not gonna talk about replacements now. I'll do that starting from next week, because actually there hasn't been real talks about a replacement. That's the scary part. But that's the Vlahovic situation. Now let's move on to the guy on the thumbnail, because he's been linked with us for, I'm gonna say, the third season straight now. It's Christian Pulisic. I know a lot of Americans under you are like, yeah, get him in. And I will say, I don't care what you think. No, it's a joke. But no, it's a no. It's from ESPN saying, Juve are leading race to sign Pulisic. Chelsea are asking for 25 mil. I think we're the only club in the race, if we are actually in the race. And he's one of the names being looked at. Romeo said, not really. He said, I don't have anything on that. I don't believe we're in for Pulisic, for the simple reason that he is on an insane contract, and I don't see him saying, yes, I will have my wages to play for you. And half the wages is almost 4 million euros for him. He's not going to do that. We're not going to pay him that amount of money. We shouldn't pay him that amount of money. So I don't think we're in for him. We were in for him last summer when he was linked with us, involving a Delict swap deal. I think it was. It was actually confirmed that we were open to entertain the possibility of getting him in a deal, on loan, whatever. But we should not be doing that. You might say we need him in a position, okay, but his wages are not in line what we should be doing. We shouldn't be doing these things. So it's an absolutely no for me. I think he's been actually very poor the last couple, like 2 years at least. He's been poor, injury prone. It's just the deal screams no. Don't do it whatsoever. And I'm gonna say I'm pretty confident, because I'm not gonna say I'm certain, because you never know with us, that this will not happen. That we will not even entertain that thought. And I'm hoping, I'm praying that will be the case. But that's basically the big news. That's the standout news of the day, basically, or for the last couple of hours, that it kind of came out of nowhere. But I don't think we're in for him. I don't believe that, and we shouldn't, by the way. Now let's move on to Junior. That's from Gazzetta dello Sport, saying Junior is attracting interest from several English Premier League clubs, and should an important offer arrive, Juve may decide to consider it. Romeo added to it that he will have offers from Premier League clubs, as we probably would have expected. Now, I talked about it with Julian, and he said, like, if an offer comes in from around 20 mil, you probably are going to take it. Let me know in the comments what you think. I think it would be sad to lose him already, because I think there's potential in it. I love his energy. I love his drive. I just like it. That's what we need in this rebuild, in my opinion. Those type of players that play without fear, that bring something excited to the table, have some output to it, are a real threat. That's the biggest thing. Like when he comes on, you can feel okay, something is gonna happen. Even if it looks scrappy, he's gonna make things happen. And when I look at players like, and again, not same position, but like an Alexandro Quadrado or Kostic, who gets the numbers, but when you look at those guys, you're like, nah, man. Yes, Kostic gets his numbers, but is he a real threat for 90 minutes? Nah, he's not. No, different type of players. So I will be very, very disappointed if we lose him. Now, if an offer comes in from 20 mil, could you blame the club in this situation for not taking it for a player who played, I don't know, 500 minutes? You might in the comments say no, but I think these are the type of players we need for a rebuild with, I don't know, with which type of manager. We will discuss that in the next couple of days. Um, but I will be very, very disappointed if we let him leave because I still believe, or I believe, there's a lot of potential in it, potential that will help us in this rebuild we are trying to do. So let's see how that will develop. But I do believe an offer will come in if it's from the Premier League club. Don't be shocked if it's around 20 mil. Now the question is, will you accept it? Let me know in the comments. But there will be an offer. 100% there will be an offer. Now let's move on to the Milik news because that's linked to Vlahovic. Because if Vlahovic is going, you are assuming, okay, Milik is staying 100% sure. Well, think again because the club is not certain about using that option. I think it was 7 mil, something like that. Corriere dello Sport is saying Juve are unsure whether to sign Milik on a permanent deal. The club will prefer not to spend 7 mil plus bonuses needed to buy the striker. That makes you think of, okay, if it's not him for 7 mil, then who are we gonna buy, and for what amount of money? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Then there was a rumor out today that we're gonna buy him and then flip him straight to Lazio because we have that option. That's not gonna do. That's not what we're gonna do, especially in this situation. But it's a good question to ask. Will you buy him for 7 mil? Because Vlahovic is going. You need to replace Vlahovic. If you let go of Milik, you also kind of need to replace Milik with the injuries we have, and Di Maria is gone, and you need to place him like up front. It's gonna be very iffy. Also, today Romeo added that within the club, a lot of people believe that Sule has great potential in becoming a Mezzala. Now, I think that's crazy. I hate that we trying to convert players into other players, into players they're not. We were doing that way too often. Just let him play in his position. I know he did well against Napoli in that position, but let him play in his natural position. Like you should have been playing Junior in his natural position. Just name it. Those players, let them play in their natural position. If you're not good enough, go out there and get the player to play in his natural position. Don't convert half of the team, figure of speech, into something they're not, because that will always look very ugly, the end product, because it's too much to cope with. So you need to ask these questions. So if Vlahovic is going, okay, who's coming in to replace him? Talk about replacements soon, but like names of Scamacca being mentioned and all those things on loan. Again, injury prone. That has been proven this season. But you're gonna lose two strikers. So what's gonna happen? So let me know in the comments. Will you buy him for 7 mil? But that's something to keep an eye on. Because again, money's short. The club, with the money they have, they need to do everything basically perfectly. So it's gonna be very, very tricky. That's the news basically. Now Romeo did add some quote unquote spicy news. He said Huijsen and Yildiz will be part of the first team for the tour. He said Cambiaso will come back and he will be evaluated. He's not certain that he will remain, which, well, screams Alexander's going to play more, I guess. He also added that Rovella will come back and his chances of staying are very high. That's what he said. And then the general news on Giuntoli, like I said at the start, we still need to wait. But it's a very tricky situation, in my opinion. This is the first Transfer Extra video. just as a warm up. Probably we'll start doing them again starting from next week when the season is actually over and we have more certainty about the coach and the sporting director and all those things. Then we can basically talk about players and more. But this is the first one. Let me know in the comments again, Milik, yes or no, who to replace him with, even if Vlahovic is gone. Um, Pulisic, yes or no, and would you accept an offer of around 20 mil for Junior should it come in? Um, Again, let me know. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will probably do a live today, and after that, I will record a podcast with Julian that will drop on Friday. So stay tuned for that. And again, Sunday, excuse me, final game of the season. I will do a match reaction just because, well, we've always done a match reaction after a game. And then starting from next season, starting from next week, it's transfers, coaching, sporting directors, maybe UEFA punishment because according to Romeo, before the 15th of June, we will know who the coach is going to be of this club. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching and see you guys tonight. Ciao.